Hey everyone. So today we're going to do something a little different. This isn't just another history lesson. We're actually diving into the vision of someone I know many of you really looked up to, your former principal, Dr. Chung. This is all about her incredible work on freedom and human rights. And honestly, it's a vision she wanted to pass on to you. So let's get into it.
I mean, you knew her as your principal, right? You'd see her in the halls, listen to her during assemblies. But what we're looking at right here, this is the heart of her life's work. It's her powerful, passionate belief in human dignity, all captured in these pages. This isn't some dry academic text. Think of it more like a personal message from a mentor who believed in you.
And here's the thing, it's not just a message, it's a call to action, and it's aimed right at you. You are the next generation of leaders, especially those of you thinking about making a real difference in the world, maybe in the non-governmental sector. She's basically handing you the blueprint and saying, okay, now it's your turn to build. Okay, so to really get where she's coming from, we've got to rewind a bit. Dr. Chung believed that the fight for human rights wasn't some new idea. Nope, she saw it as this long, epic journey, a march toward freedom that actually started centuries and centuries ago.
And here, you can see the major milestones, the building blocks of that whole journey. You've got thinkers like John Locke, Rousseau, Kant, and they weren't just sitting in armchairs writing about abstract ideas. Not at all. They were looking at the world around them, at the oppression, and they were pushing back. Their ideas literally fueled revolutions, and that led to these incredible documents in England, America, and France that, for the very first time, started putting individual rights down on paper, into law.
But as huge as those steps were, they weren't enough. They couldn't stop what was coming, the biggest catastrophe of the 20th century. And it was right out of that terrible darkness that a new, truly universal idea had to be forged.
The world literally reached a breaking point. The amount of suffering, the cold, systematic destruction of human life during World War II, it was horrifying, and it created this undeniable urgency. Everyone realized that if we didn't have some kind of shared standard for human dignity, something to hold on to, these kinds of horrors could absolutely happen again. This wasn't just a debate, it was a desperate plea to save humanity from itself.
And you can see how it all unfolded right here. It's this direct line from crisis to, well, to a kind of triumph. The world pulled together, created the United Nations, and one of its very first jobs was to set up a Human Rights Commission. And who did they put in charge? The one and only Eleanor Roosevelt. Their mission, create a document that could be a common standard for every single person in every single nation. And this is a point Dr. Chung really drives home in her writing. This was not just a Western idea being forced on the rest of the world, absolutely not. It was a massive collaborative effort. You had experts from all these different legal backgrounds, different cultures, different philosophies, all coming together to make sure this thing was genuinely universal. So what did all that collaboration actually create? Let's dive into the Universal Declaration of Human Rights itself, the UDHR, and see how it lays out this incredible blueprint for a better, more just world. It's really a document of amazing power and clarity.
It all kicks off with the preamble. And listen, this is way more than just a simple intro. It's a massive statement of principle. It says that freedom, justice, and peace in our world are all built on one simple but totally revolutionary idea, that every single human being has inherent dignity and rights that can never be taken away.
Then you get to Articles 1 and 2, and these are like the foundation for the whole building. They state it so clearly, you are born free and equal. And these rights, they belong to everyone. No ifs, ands, or buts. No exceptions. That simple promise, that's the heart of the whole declaration.
All right, next up, we have what are called civil and political rights. You can think of these as your freedom from rights. Freedom from fear, freedom from being oppressed, freedom from the government just doing whatever it wants. They protect your life, your liberty, but also your voice, your right to think what you want, say what you want, believe what you want, and even take part in how your country is run. And when you look back at Dr. Chung's own notes, you can just see how much thought she put into these protections. She totally understood that without your own personal security, the right to be safe, to get a fair trial, all those other freedoms don't really mean much, do they?
Okay, but being free from bad things isn't the whole story. The Declaration also talks about what we should be free to do. These are the economic, social, and cultural rights. Basically, the right to live a life with dignity. We're talking about the right to work, to get a fair wage, to have an education, to get health care, a basic level of security so you can actually thrive.
And this is where Dr. Chung's analysis is so brilliant. She shows how these two sets of rights are totally connected. You can't separate them. You can't really have political freedom if you don't have economic dignity. And it works the other way, too. They feed each other. It's this complete, holistic vision for what it means to be a flourishing human being.
So all of this, it brings us to the final part of Dr. Chung's message. And honestly, it's the most important part. Because the history has been written, the declaration is on the books, but the work is far from over. And now, she's passing the torch to you. So I really want you to let that sink in for a second. What is your role in this story? This isn't just something to read about in a book. This is a living, breathing mission. Dr. Chung poured her life into these ideals. So the question is, how are you going to make them a part of your story? And for those of you thinking about a career in the non-governmental sector, well, the answer couldn't be clearer. NGOs are on the front lines of this fight today. They're the ones advocating, educating, providing aid. They're the watchdogs who hold powerful people accountable and give a voice to those who don't have one. They're the ones who turn the words of the UDHR into real, tangible action.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the spirit your principal was trying to share. The declaration was never meant to be some dusty document sitting on a shelf. It's a challenge. It's a call to action for every single generation to push for a better world. It's a shared dream, one that we all have to work together to make real.
Your principal, Dr. Chung, she spent her life understanding and fighting for this vision. She has, in a very real way, lit the path for you to follow. So the final question is pretty simple, but it's also incredibly profound. Where are you going to take it? How will you carry this torch forward?